This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 17th of December. I'm James Spann. Drive for the next couple of days. The big question involves the weekend. What about the thunderstorm situation? What about the chance of severe weather? And what about the weather for Christmas next week? A lot to talk about, so let's do it. We'll go take a look out the window with our Skycam network this afternoon. First off, the view coming from Trussville. A day of blue sky and sunshine. Temperatures warming up nicely after a cold start this morning. That's our Tuscaloosa Skycam looking east from the top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse toward Bryant-Denny Stadium. And up in the rocket city of Huntsville, we're looking at some rockets at the Alabama Space and Rocket Center. Can't miss that big Saturn V. Got a big trough still in the east, but again, the amplitude will be lessening with time, and a big upper low is going to form over the Gulf of California late this week, and the ultimate weather for the weekend will be determined by that feature. Hey, numbers are looking pretty good. Everybody in the 60s except Auburn. They've got 59, 60 for Haleyville, Birmingham and Anniston 62. Now, to the north, we're going to have a new surge of slightly cooler air dipping in here in the wake of an Alberta clipper. So tomorrow's highs will be about 5 to 8 degrees cooler. Highs will drop into the low and mid-50s. The NAM is showing 52, the GFS showing 57, but still not a bad day. On the watch warning map, pretty quiet. Winter weather advisories are scattered from Minneapolis, St. Paul over to Grand Rapids and New York City and Boston. Looks like winter storm warnings around Boston where they've got some heavier snow there, but the rest of the nation relatively quiet. Here's the rain for the next 5 days. This carries us through Tuesday evening of next week. Bigger numbers are north of here. Amounts of over 4 inches possibly over parts of southeast Missouri, western Kentucky, southern Illinois. The amounts down here about 1 to 2 inches, and of course that's going to be over the weekend. What's going to happen? Let's take a look. This is the GFS, the Global Forecast System, valid at 12 noon tomorrow at 500 millibars. Big trough moving off the upper Atlantic coast. Down below that, the sky will be sunny. And again, like we talked about, the day a bit cooler with highs going back in the middle 50s. Now we'll start the day around freezing. Thursday, another sunny day. The high should be in the low to mid 60s. And this is Friday. There's the upper low we talked about. That thing is over the northern Gulf of California, south of Phoenix. And again, when features are in that position, often the models struggle as it's not quite into the upper air network of the United States. So really, until we get that thing opening up and lifting out, there could be some questions about the weekend. Down at the surface on Friday, moisture starts to come back, and we'll need to mention the chance of a few showers on Friday, especially Friday afternoon. The high will be in the low to mid-60s, the GFS showing 63. And more than likely, a warm front should be pushing north at some point Friday night or Saturday morning. Now, this is Saturday. This is when the upper low opens up into a wave and pushes into Texas. Down below that, a surface low begins to deepen around Little Rock, 1,001 millibars, not as deep as recent days. And remember, there's a ridge off to the east, and it's going to be a battle between the storm system to the west and the stabilizing effect of the ridge. But during the day Saturday, clearly there could be some showers and storms around. We're going to mention a good chance of that, but it's not going to rain all day, and the sun might peek out. And a warm front should be north of that, north of us, extending east from the surface low near the Alabama-Tennessee border. And it could be the most widespread rain Saturday will be north of that warm front. And Saturday should be pretty warm. The GFS is showing a high of 75. If we hit that, that will be a new record for December 21st. The old record 73, set back in the 1920s. Okay, this is Saturday night at midnight, and you can see how the trough is lifting to the northeast, taking on somewhat of a negative tilt, and down below that, the surface low is on the Ohio River, not too far from Evansville, Indiana, with the trailing squall line pushing into northwest Alabama. And then by Sunday at noon, squall line is exiting the state. So this run of the GFS continues to suggest that it could be the main window for the organized, strong storms, if we have them, or maybe severe storms, would be from maybe 11 o'clock Saturday night until 11 o'clock Sunday morning. And I would suggest maybe the main mode would be from strong straight-line winds. But let's check the European now. This is 6 o'clock Sunday evening. And the GFS has the squall line way east of here. The European has the squall line just moving in here. It is still considerably slower. So you've got these two varied solutions. And clearly with this solution, the severe weather risk would be lower and maybe non-existent. Certainly some strong storms are possible, but the European solution is slower and not as aggressive with severe weather. Well, let's check the GFS severe weather parameters. This is the precipitable water at midnight Saturday night. And by golly, we're getting up there toward 2 inches. And when you see 2 inches in December, that is very, very moist. And that certainly will set the stage for heavy rain with that squall line. This is the instability at midnight Saturday night. And the numbers are not overwhelming. The surface-based capes are under 750 joules, but we remind everybody you don't have to have a lot of cape to have severe weather in the cold season. But again, the numbers are not overwhelming. This is what's pretty impressive. The GFS continues to be very aggressive with the low-level jet. It's got wind velocities of 60 to 70 knots over Alabama and Tennessee. And as we often mention, it doesn't take a lot to get that down to the surface. So with a squall line, we could see some strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. And this is the low-level shear, and those numbers are very robust, 40 knots between the surface and 925 millibars. So we'll just have to play it by ear. Again, tomorrow morning, I think we'll kind of make the call on this with the big discrepancy between the slow European and this faster, more aggressive GFS. The truth is probably somewhere in between, but clearly there's a chance of strong, maybe severe storms over the weekend, especially Saturday night or during the day Sunday. The magnitude of the event, the modes of severe weather, the specific timing, it's just a little early at this point. There's something to watch. Now, Monday of next week, we're dry but colder. Good north wind. Highs Monday dropping in the low 50s. Tuesday, Christmas Eve, will probably be in the upper 20s to start the day. The high will be around 50, and this is Christmas Day. As we have discussed, temperatures should be right where they should be for this time of the year. Highs in the low 50s, lows in the low 30s. And again, if you're looking for a white Christmas, like snow falling on Christmas morning, much of the country looks pretty dry. You might find a few snowflakes up in parts of northern Michigan. All right, a little later in the month, toward the end of the month, this is December 30th. That's suggesting a rain event. And the end of the forecast on January 2nd. Another upper low that's down there below San Diego, troughing over the Plain States. And down below that, some little evidence of moisture creeping in here. And, of course, this is all out there in the land of voodoo. This will change. We're just looking for trends. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can, catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News this evening on the live stream of the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.